Walking into the church this morning, perhaps the very first thing you noticed is that the Christmas decorations are up. You might have said, oh, they still have the Christmas decorations up. Now, Christmas, when does it really end? For Americans, we celebrate so far in advance of the feast that by the time Christmas comes, we feel as though it's over. In Europe, they celebrate the octave of Christmas, or the octave of feast days. It goes 8 days after the great feast, and they don't anticipate it as much. The end of the Christmas season for the church is really February 2nd, the Feast of the Purification. In fact, Pope John Paul II kept his live Christmas tree in his apartment up until February 2nd. You can imagine what a live Christmas tree would look like in that first week of February. When does it really end for us? You know, in a sense, it really doesn't. But the Italian community has 3 celebrations of Christmas, and many Hispanic communities do as well. With the Feast of St. Nicholas, small gifts. With the Great Feast of Light, Christmas itself. And yes, the Great Feast of the Epiphany. And today, I'd like to share with you the legend of Befana. The legend of Befana. Befana was an elderly woman who lived in Rome. She was very tidy. She had a small place, a dirt floor at that time, and each and every Saturday, she would take her long pole broom, tied with thistles at the end, and begin to sweep her apartment. It was one Saturday, not after Christmas, short after Christmas, that she got a knock at the door. She went and looked outside at the door. She saw 3 people dressed ornately, holding things in their hands. And she said, I am Befana, who are you? They said, we've come to follow the star. We're looking for the Christ child. Will you join us in our journey to look for the star? I am Befana. I have to clean my place today. I cannot come with you. Please, please come with us so that we may find the Christ child. I am Befana, and I can't come with you. They left. The door closed. She began with that long pole and the thistles to clean. And she thought, oh my, what did I do? What did I do? I could have seen the Christ child. I didn't go. And she regretted it. And so she put on her old Roman coat and put on her old shoes, and she went out and looked for the Christ child. She went out after one street to see where the 3 wise men were. She went out another street to see if she should see these people dressed ornately with the gifts in their hands. She went out another street, and she could not find them. Continued hour after hour, and then came back to her home, very much regretting what had happened. Yes, she lived with those regrets. But Befana, on the Feast of the Epiphany, the Vigil of the Epiphany, on January 5th, distributes candy under the pillows of children in the hope that one of them is the Christ child. In a sense, Befana puts candy under the pillows of children because all of them, in a sense, are like the Christ child. Befana, the legend of Befana. I think the lesson of Befana is sometimes we have regrets. Sometimes we have grave regrets. I have to confess to you, I have regret. Last night, I turned on the Food Channel after halftime. Never should I have done that. But we have regrets. You know, the 3 words that are really hard to hear: shoulda, coulda, woulda. I should have, I could have, I would have. Regrets. Sometimes we wonder the lesson of Befana. Sometimes we wonder and see someone that we've seen for a while and know that they've gone through a divorce, and we wanted to write them a note. Know that they went through a terrible tragedy and meant to send them a note, and we didn't. We see them in a store, we see them at a party, we see them in the neighborhood. I meant to write you and to send you a message, and we have that regret that we didn't do it. Sometimes we may hear of someone who is very, very sick, and we should reach out to see that person. And then before we know it, 2 or 3 days later, we hear that that person has gone to God. We all have regrets of some sort. But the lesson of Befana is just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You've heard that before. You'll see that in the Nike commercial with the swoosh. Yes, just do it. I want to tell you about a great priest in our archdiocese who is one of my mentors, Msgr Ignatius McDermott. Msgr McDermott was what they called a Skid Row priest. He worked at Catholic Charities, but he really worked amongst those who were alcoholic, who came to the McDermott Center in his end of life, but also all through his ministry, cared for so many people. He said, Ken, just do it. Just do it. Remember living in a parish and we had a few Grey Lord judges there. This is during the 80s when the Grey Lord case came up. Some of these judges had difficulty. I invited a few of them down for dinner. Just do lunch. Just do it. Just do it. Sometimes we just don't know what to say. Don't worry about what to say. Just do it. You know, there's a short poem written by Adams and Lindsay Gordon, and it's a beautiful poem, and it's so easy to remember. Sometimes I use this when I'm talking to the couples who are getting married. Most of life is froth and bubbles. Two things stand like stone: kindness in others' troubles, courage in your own. May we look at our lives and see what we should do, and then just do it. May we never pull back on kindness for others and courage for ourselves. Long after these poinsettias will fade and die, long after the Christmas trees and lights we put away, the great feast of Christmas continues. Because a child is born, a son is given, Emmanuel. May we never forget the legend of Befana, because Befana teaches us an important lesson: just do it.
Thank you for participating in this production of our virtual Mass. Your presence means so much. Every day, so many parishioners connect to OLPH through the digital ministry. The digital ministry is one of almost 80 ministries supported by the parish. That's why your support of the parish is crucial, so we can continue to have the resources to fund all of our ministries that touch the lives of many. Thank you for watching, continue to watch, and thanks again for your support.